actually on the scene of one of those 5 missiles believed to have struck Kyiv around 8 p.m. in the evening. Now, the Russians say that what they were targeting was a factory that was making rockets. Now, there is a large factory complex over here, which we can't show you. The windows have been blown out. There is some damage there. But this is clearly a residential apartment block. We've been inside, we've met some of the people living there, and they described the moment that the rocket struck. An American fighting alongside Ukrainian troops is amongst the casualties of the war. Willie Joseph Cancel's wife confirming his death to ABC News, saying, "My husband went there wanting to help people. He'd always felt that that was his main mission in life." Russia attacking Kyiv, launching missiles into the Ukrainian capital. These videos circulating online show the moment the missiles slammed into buildings. This is the random danger all Ukrainians must live with daily. This video was given to ABC by a resident whose apartment block was struck. The attack happening as the UN Secretary General was in the capital meeting President Zelensky to try and move the diplomatic process forward. Zelensky saying the Russian attack shows what little regard Moscow has for the United Nations.
Потужна реакція.
Adding that the attack requires an appropriate, powerful response. The strike comes as President Biden looks to target those closest to Putin, asking Congress to give him the authority to use the proceeds from seized assets of Russian oligarchs for Ukraine. Biden also calling on legislators to authorize an additional $33 billion in military aid for Ukraine over the next 5 months.
The cost of this fight is not cheap, but caving to aggression is going to be more costly if we allow it to happen.
Dwindling water supplies across the American West have authorities racing to find solutions to a worsening crisis. One idea on the table: recycling wastewater for drinking.
As long as people are flushing, we continue to create more water.
In California, a water purification center is now preparing to supply the Bay Area with purified wastewater in the next few years, when the state is expected to regulate the use of recycled water for human consumption.
We send it through microfiltration, which has a pore size 300 times smaller than the diameter of a human hair, and that small pore can remove bacteria, protozoa, and large viruses, and any other large particulates that are in that water.
This past January and February were the driest 2 months beginning of a year on record in the state. Beginning in June, people in Southern California will face unprecedented restrictions, only being allowed to water lawns once a week.
Why is it that we always seem to be running behind? What steps are we doing for the future?
California is also testing this idea, placing solar panels over the thousands of miles of irrigation canals in the state. The idea is the solar panels will slow down the evaporation of the canal water while also supplying energy. In Nevada, water levels are alarmingly low at Lake Mead, which supplies the Las Vegas area with 90% of its water. The level getting so low this week, the lake's original intake pipe was exposed for the first time ever, making the system unable to pump water. Thankfully, the city was already testing a lower level pumping system, which is now operational.